a concise show dedicated to bringing you the most relevant independent news as we see it from the last 24 hours. Thursday, didn't mean for that to stay on the screen. Thursday, March 18th, 2021. Thank you for joining me today. Quite a momentous day today. We were just fully deleted on YouTube, which is what everybody expected. This is just a few things I want to go over today. It might end up going a little, an hour or so, depending on what I want to get into. But the real point was to hop on and make sure everybody out there knows that that just happened for plenty of other reasons, but actually because I thought I had a workaround to be able to make this through to YouTube on a very odd basically using somebody else's channel to push it out there. Doesn't look like they're going to let it happen, which is very, very telling. But the point was to make sure this got out to people, to let them know that it happened, because right now is that moment that James Corbett has been talking about, right? Where people will only be watching on YouTube and suddenly they'll just go, where did the last American vagabond go? He must have been on vacation. No, we were just censored entirely because of a Yemen discussion, no less, which is quite interesting. But today we're going to talk about that just really quickly in the beginning to let you know what's happening with YouTube. We're going to talk about a little bit on the AstraZeneca vaccine and how it's developing. And even though they're beginning to use it again, they're stating that we don't know if this is actually, that we can't rule out this danger, but yet then following that up by saying, but we know it's safe and effective, but we don't know what this danger is, but yet we know it's safe, because those two things totally make sense together. And then we're also going to talk about how they're telling you this is never going to end. No matter what anybody's saying, they're telling you repeatedly, this is how your life will be forever. Get used to it. All the mainstream is putting things out left and right about that. And as well, something about the lockdowns at the end, we will be discussing a very important discussion in regard to what's really going on with these lockdowns and how it seems, based on the data, they are potentially hurting more people than they're actually helping. Oh my God, who could have guessed? But to start off, of course, just a quick discussion about what just happened here. And I want you guys to make sure you see this. As I always point out, this is not about anything other than making sure people are aware of what these people are. This is not me going, oh no, it's all gone. No, I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. And it's actually couldn't be more perfect timing because of what will be out and live by the end of the month, which is where I will be directing most people, which will have live streaming and Patreon stuff that, donations and all the whole same kind of thing we're talking about. Keep forgetting to close my Telegram channel. There we go. It's going to be coming at the end of the month and possibly sooner, and you will be seeing it coming, and it will be, hopefully everything that will make all of the rest of them obsolete. That's the whole point. But nonetheless, there's a lot of other platforms that we are on currently right now, streaming on Periscope, Facebook, DLive, VK, one that many in the US aren't very familiar with, and when I will be posting it on BitChute and Odyssey and everything. I don't know why I always seem to forget Rockfin in regard to live streaming. Probably the best place you should be right now to watch this. It's got a chat and everything else and so on. But as my tweet reads, the cowards at YouTube deleted the TLAV backup channel. Just what it must be like to be so terrified of objective discussion while screaming about free speech and facts. Today's video, which is the one that triggered them to delete this, was actually an interview with Vanessa Beeley in regard to Yemen. And get this, it wasn't about some abstract thing that we were hypothesizing about. This is about an interview that she literally had with the Yemeni ambassador. But fake news though, right? Team YouTube? I mean, this is pathetic. I mean, the reason is it's not just me. They are desperately afraid of people like me, people like James Corbett, and people like anybody out there who's at least trying to be objective, trying to source their material, and then also trying to show you how they're lying to you. Can't do that. And here's what they're just ultimately saying. We reviewed your content and found several repeated violations. Oh, you mean those ones you failed to notify me of because you weren't actually documenting anything, like emails or all that stuff, the whole process they're supposed to go through? You guys have been following this. I've gotten a couple of emails about age restrictions, randomly enough, but I don't have any emails about deleted this or this is a community guideline strike. We got one way in the beginning and they just stopped. We know this. They're not following their own rules. The point is whatever was in this video today, they said, okay, get this guy out of here. Too much. We can't talk about truth in Yemen. We can't. I guess they just didn't work too keen on me pointing out their war crimes, you know? The video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with the video has been terminated. It is gone. Good riddance, to be honest. I mean, it's what I was actually talking about in the beginning was to try to find a way around to get this on YouTube so people know that this happened. But right now, I don't even think I'm going to try to make something else to be able to get future videos on YouTube. This might officially be the time we drop it and go forward, just like I keep telling you. Ride it till the wheels fall off. Well, guys, the wheels fell off. Now it's time to prove to everybody else, including YouTube and the cowards over there, that they do not have they haven't cornered the market on streaming and how this will go. Very important to understand. This is going to continue, regardless of whether YouTube will fight for you or fight for the oligarchy. And it's pretty clear what side they've chosen. Now, it's also interesting to recognize 20,000 subscribers on a channel that started with 8 in a very short period of time, as well as the fact that we, 8,000, 9,000, 9, 10, 8. This is a channel with less than 10,000 subscribers when it started. We're getting 14, 20,000 views on some videos. This is why they're trying to get us out of here, because it's reaching people regardless of what they actually, how much they're trying to censor. But here's the video itself, just so you can see it. Actually, this might be done possibly by now. Nice. On BitChute, they're getting much better on their processing time. But again, Vanessa Beeley interview. Inside the West, illegal Yemen occupation and CIA caught rescuing Al-Qaeda. Now, this is an important discussion. And this was, if I have, let's see, let me actually just grab this really quickly, seeing as how I just said, I actually think this might even be the reason why this was taken down. And this is a leaked discussion with a CIA official and a Yemeni official. And they are stating, let me just grab it really quickly here, that he's asking Yemen or the official to release a leader of Al-Qaeda. I'll include this for you because they're probably not happy about this being out there anyway. But this was the main point. But here we're talking with Vanessa Beeley, who just had an interview with a Yemeni ambassador, and we're discussing what he told her about what's going on the ground. But yeah, can't have that kind of reporting. We can only be told what our intelligence officials tell the media to tell you as fact. That's real journalism, guys. Make sure you repeat that over and over because that's what they want you to think. No, real journalism is what I was going to say. I don't know why I always say Whitney Webb when I think of what Whitney Webb does, what Derek Rose does, what Vanessa Beeley does, what Eva Bartlett does. These are real investigative journalists, right? And this was leaked, and this is what they don't want you to hear.
I believe the FBI people have already arrived in Sana'a. They are now in Yemen. Why don't you recommend them to come and meet me tomorrow along with the U.S. ambassador and present this case during my discussion with them, and we can discuss about it. President,
this is the CIA officer speaking.
I'm happy to do that, but let me say something very important. أنا سأقوم بذلك، ولكن دعني أقول شيئا آخر. I'm happy to have it, but I don't need anybody else. This is my person. This is my problem. This is my issue.
My person.
And I'm calling you because it's very serious with me personally. This man must be released.
They're speaking about an Al-Qaeda leader.
Is that his name? The PSO director, Major General Ghalib al-Kamish.
There it is.
He knows all about this. Mohammed al-Rais, ambassador, and quite frankly, I'm calling this my responsibility. I've talked to everybody in my government. I told them that I was going to make this call. I want to work with you, but I need this man released in the next 48 hours.
In the next 48 hours. Gee, I wonder why they're in such a rush to remove this Al-Qaeda leader. The guys they keep telling us attacked us on 9/11, even though that's completely not the truth. Or at least they weren't the ones leading it. Asking for the release, right? I mean, it's just quite incredible that we can have, but this is why we get censored, because the mainstream won't show you stuff like this. They won't let you know that your government is in fact working along with the very people that they keep telling you are threatening your lives. In fact, that they've been arming, funding, and controlling them for a very long time. You see, this is the point. And as I said on that interview, this is what terrorism actually looks like.